Okay, good morning. It's morning where I'm at. This is a continuation of trying to educate people and present to them the facts and information about what is a dollar. I want to help people. I want to teach enough for you, and we'll learn together. We're going to learn about the subject money and what we're actually using as money, as a medium of exchange, so we can all live a better life and change the fraudulent laws that exist today and clear up the confusion that the media and people keep saying. So here's the question. When I ask people, what is a dollar? They hold up a Federal Reserve note and say, here is a dollar. Pretty much everyone accepts without question what is a dollar, yet they have never read the laws that actually define what is a dollar. I didn't. I grew up, didn't read it anywhere. The schools and education materials do not define what is a dollar, so people accept without question what they are using as money, even though they've never read the actual law that defines what is a dollar back in 1792 in the Coinage Act of 1792, Section 20. They think, what's that have to do with anything? Well, I'll explain it to you. For those of you that want to understand, keep following my thought here. The legal tender laws are laws that define what is a dollar, and they are laws that define what is to be exchanged in commerce, or what is commonly referred to as the money. And the money was the metal, silver, gold, and copper in coin form. The money was the metal. Now I'm going to get you to start questioning other people and say, well, how did the money become dollars when it was metal? Over time, the government removed the silver and gold certificates from circulating as legal tender and started issuing worthless Federal Reserve notes by private banks. Yes, you will understand that eventually you'll see that the entire banking system is a private collective of banks. And the people did not think anything about it and did not see the cause and effect of what we are using as money. So people just passed it on from generation to generation. They don't know what they're using as money based on the law. They just hand the people, here's a dollar, and they hand the other person the Federal Reserve notes, and nobody questions it, which is fine. I was the same. I didn't question anything. So over time, I was bored, and I started picking up books about the subject money and kept collecting them. And I thought, what's wrong with this picture? Just like others that researched it before me. I was thinking, what's wrong? There's nothing that's not making sense here. So I researched the law and what is a dollar, and presenting my results here. I have more information I'm going to present to you in other videos, but I just want to give people small amounts of information so they can handle it. The topic is very unusual, and you've got to speak clearly and understand things. So I found the law that relates to the money, which is the legal tender law called the Coinage Act of 1792. And in the Coinage Act of 1792, in Section 20, that states, and be further enacted that the money of account in the United States shall be expressed in dollars. I want you to read that a few times and take a pause. The money of account in the United States shall be expressed in dollars. It doesn't say the dollars are the money. It doesn't say the money is dollars. The money is expressed in dollars in a dollar quantity. Back in time when the Coinage Act of 1792 was written, the money was not dollars. The silver and gold and the copper coins were the money. The money was the metal coins. The word dollar is meant to define an expression of the money is not the money itself. So everybody holds up a Federal Reserve note and gives it to people to pay things and purchase things. And they say, here's $1, here's $5. And they have no idea what the word dollar is reference to on the Federal Reserve notes. They have no idea. The entire population is ignorant of this subject. I know it because I was ignorant too. And it took a long time for me to research, purchase a lot of books. I purchased material from the Federal Reserve sent me some material. I looked up economics books, college books, and nobody had the definition of the word dollar. Almost nobody. I didn't say it. I'm sorry. I looked up old encyclopedias, looked up the word Coinage Act of 1792. I looked up meticulously many books. I called talk shows. I asked people, where does this word dollar come from in our law? I don't want to go back to before 1792, but I'll ask my YouTube readers 1,000 times until many of you get it. What is their reference in law as to what is a dollar? Many of you just simply can't answer because they don't know. The educational system and the money books do not show this. You could go through 18, you could be 22 years old, go to high school economics, college, go into investment banking. You could be a stockbroker, an investor, hedge fund manager. These people don't even know. I know because I've asked these people. I've asked people that worked for the Federal Reserve. Do you know what the Coinage Act 1792 is? No, they don't know. The people at the bank don't know. So don't bother people. Just don't confront people. Just learn, and you'll see that people don't. There's a lot that just simply don't care what we're using as money. They don't know, and they don't know there's a cause and effect of what we're using as money, and they just shrug their shoulders, which is fine. You've got to move on and then educate yourself. And my goal is to give enough people this information so we can have a conversation about this, so the media isn't sitting there spewing the wrong information. Now, coins were used as barter and as money at that time period of 1792 when this law was created. That was barter. You're bartering for wealth. If you had to ask for $1 back in 1792, the response would be, do you want $1 of silver or $1 of gold? Since the wealth to be used would be a quantity of silver or copper in coin form. But people now just generally say the money's $1. That's like saying a gallon of what? Go get me a gallon. And you would say, well, should you get me a gallon of gasoline, a gallon of water, a gallon of milk? What is it? So the dollar is the same thing. It's a monetary expression of unit of measurement. The dollar is the same as a gallon. And nobody seems to notice this. They just shrug their shoulders and go, well, it works. Everything is working. But the prices keep going up. And this is another YouTube video. The cause and effect of what we're using as money can change. We can change it. And it doesn't need to be the price is going up. You're working harder. You're consuming the environment for no reason at all, only that we're ignorant of the subject money. Now, the money was not the dollars. The same today as the word gallon is not the volume of measurement. A gallon of gas, and you can read that, a gallon of gasoline, a gallon of water, a gallon of milk. The word gallon is not the gasoline or the water or the milk. So let's continue. We're not going to go very long here. The Coinage Act of 1792 states, this is Section 9 of the Coinage Act of 1792, which you will eventually read, those that are interested. And it be further enacted that there shall be from time to time struck and coined at the said mint coins of silver, gold, and copper. It did not say the money is dollars. There's nowhere in the Coinage Act of 1792 that started to define what the nation or people are to exchange amongst themselves is a dollar. No. Okay, so anyhow, I haven't had anybody come back to me and challenge me because they can't. Because my information is mostly based on Merrill Jenkins. You can look him up, Merrill Jenkins, Jenkins, and read any of his material. So let's finish reading here. Exchanging coins is barter. Many people, you'll hear them say gold is money. And they just read it over ad nauseum. They say gold is money, blah, blah, blah. This is another one of these phrases that people say, like the government's printing money, blah, blah, blah. You can't. These are people that are just, they're stuck in repeating wrong information so many times they don't want their minds to be changed. So just ignore them. Sometimes I confront people and go, and I say gold is wealth. It's barter first. It's not money. Gold can be used as money. First and foremost, exchanging wealth among individuals is barter. I have a correction there. Gold is barter, then can be used as money. So people just say, it doesn't matter what I say. You know what I mean. That's their typical answer in this subject. Oh, you know what I mean. Well, that's not a way to learn and to learn and teach others. You know what I mean. We need to be more specific in the words. And I'm giving you the words and the specifics, and you're going to learn. Those of you that are learning, you're going to be very aware and educated as to what's going on in this world. Barter, by definition, is a transaction that is complete between the individuals. If I were to exchange an item for a gold certificate, the transaction would not be complete, since the person that held the gold certificate would have to go and exchange the certificate for the gold, and therefore the transaction would not be called barter. Does that make sense? I'll pause for a minute while you pause your YouTube video and read that about 5 times. If you said, let's barter, I would say, okay, but I want the gold coin, not the certificate, since that is not bartering with the gold certificate. The same would apply today in an item for a check. That is not bartering. The transaction is not complete. The person would need to go to a bank, cash the check for Federal Reserve notes or coins. Now, today you can use your phone and you can do this, what is so-called, quote, deposit the check by your phone, but that's not really what's going on. I'll get into that specific later. The Federal Reserve notes that were created and produced after 1962 are not redeemable in anything. Therefore, there's a typo here, so don't worry about it. The Federal Reserve notes that were created and produced after 1962 are not redeemable in anything. Therefore, are bartering with a worthless piece of paper that is not redeemable in anything that the previous gold certificates were, and were two different Federal Reserve notes that were produced from 1913 to 1933 and in 1934 to 1961. I'm going to have to change that. The laws regarding money are called legal tender laws. A couple of these, and as an example, are the Coinage Act of 1792 and the Coinage Act of 1965, which I guarantee you almost 99% of my YouTube followers or anybody in general have not read this. Many of these YouTubers that are talking about gold and silver and buying gold and silver, they have not read these laws, and you cannot have an intelligent discussion unless you've read either of these Coinage Acts. And that will be the end of this one. I need to make some corrections on it. Anyhow, let's educate ourselves and learn together. Thanks.